I just want to let my supporters know, no matter where they're from, no matter who they are, if I can do it, they can do it.
You know Sophia.
Of course.
Sophia Body, the DJ, the actress, the model, and future real estate mogul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you like me? Why are you here? Tell us. Why are you here? What do you want to know?
Well, I've known you for so long, and I've DJ'd so many of your parties, met so many of your friends and family, and we just get along, and you have great energy. I just love you so much. I love your kids, your wife, everybody.
Thank you.
And you're really successful. Like, you're really successful what you're doing, and
He's the real estate. He's the guy you think of when you think real estate.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely always thinking about Eric.
Well, I love real estate.
Yes.
Almost as much. Actually, probably more than I love your music, but they're very close.
Yes, you
neck
gave
and
me
neck.
a T-shirt that says "Ask me about real estate,"
Yep.
and I wear it to the gym, and people will be like,
So that's
what
why
do you know
wanna,
about real
That's why you
estate?
want to learn. So actually, we've had a lot of chances to talk over the years, and I know that your secret passion has been real estate. And I was
Yes.
like, wow, Omar. I'm like, we have to
Yeah.
get Sophia to
Yeah.
join us and get involved in real estate. And there's so many other celebrities that have been doing real estate, and a lot of them I feel like are doing real estate just because it's the in thing. And talking to you over the last year, I found out that you actually have wanted to do real estate since you were a kid, and I was like, holy shit.
"Yeah, well, my dad has pounded it in my head since I was little, real estate, real estate. He's always owning restaurants, houses. He bought me a house before he passed away to make sure I was good, and that's how I came to America.
Wow.
Sold the house, and then I was able to come here.
Yeah.
So
But my
you're
dad
from
has
Canada,
always been
right?
good with money, so I
Okay.
trusted that.
Okay.
So
And you're from Canada?
yeah,
Awesome.
yes,
Go US.
yes.
Awesome. And real estate in the US, we're all about real estate here.
Yeah.
But
It's a great market. My dad always wanted me to buy, something here, but it was always harder because I was in Canada.
sure.
But the real estate market in the U.S. is definitely way more tangible than in Canada, I feel like. So it's a lot more people, a lot more buildings, a lot more
Yeah.
developments.
And that's funny, your story, because both Omar and I kind of fell into real estate, right? Like your parents
Yeah.
didn't teach you.
No, it was really the path I figured would build wealth, and it was probably the most accessible path. That's why I chose it. No special reason beyond that.
Same for me. I just bought a house when I was early on. My aunt did a little bit of real estate, but nobody was like, real estate. So that's so cool that that was your dad's dream for you. And
Yeah.
I am so excited that you came to us. And I think we have talked, and we want to help you in your journey into becoming a real estate mogul. So
Yeah, I always thought about real estate as you go to school for it, get your real estate license, and then but you have told me there's different ways
Yeah.
to start rather than just it always kind of terrified me the test, but you told me that there's steps to get prepared for the test,
So there's so many things. First of all, we do have a real estate school that we are working with. It's called the Center for Real Estate Education, but you don't have to start there. So Omar has a really cool story. Omar's our king house flipper. Everybody loves house flipping. I think Omar, you
love
flipped
it.
50 houses in your
Yeah.
early life because you're still, are you 30 or something?
No, I wish I was still there.
My dad did that to
Close
our
enough.
old house,
Did he?
actually. Yeah.
So do you still have that house
No.
in Canada? You don't have it. You sold it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he sold it,
Okay,
but
so-
he added. I always wanted a spiral staircase, and he added that. He flipped our house.
You did.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're, as far as getting into real estate, are you interested in flipping houses, buying rentals, wholesaling?
Anything, wholesaling,
Okay.
investments, flipping, giving back.
Yeah.
So I love that you're so open-minded about this, because I think that this is a perfect opportunity for us. One of the reasons we started this school, one of the reasons Omar and I teach, it's because no one really taught us.
Yeah.
And Omar and I were good people, and I don't know why I did that in quotes, but we are good people, and we actually like to help people, and we mentor people all the time, and to have the opportunity to mentor someone so successful like you is awesome.
Yeah.
Because I would say most of the people that I've mentored, and you'll speak for yourself in a minute, but they haven't really been like successful. They're great people, but they haven't made like a whole lifetime career.
Yeah. Yeah, and that helps because now for you to transition into real estate, you don't have to start by getting your license if you don't want to. It's good to get it, but you don't have to start at that level.
Right. You know, getting my feet
It'll be
wet
fun.
before.
It'll be fun. Because you have that inherent love for real estate from your dad. Like as you're learning, some of this stuff's going to be strange. Like, why do I need to know what the lead law is from 1978? Well, it's just a thing you have to know. But I think as you're learning, it's just going to get more exciting for you. So I'm excited for your journey because I remember, 30 years ago when I did it, and now where I am, and it's like I'm learning stuff every day.
And
every day.
That's what I love. Like that's why I love to DJ. It's because it's always a challenge and it's always troubleshooting and there's always new stuff to learn. And I always like to keep my brain going.
Yeah.
Like I like to learn new things, and that's why I think that I kind of want to get into real estate. Because the DJing is cool. I'm still learning that, but I want, for my kids, I'm getting older, generational wealth, that's what my dad drilled into my head. So I kind of, and there's a lot of DJs that do both. And
yeah, I know there's been a bunch of successful DJs, and I think that to be able to bring your DJ-ness to real estate people, because I know not everybody knows you, but a lot of people do. But I think that that's going to be so much fun. And, we do a lot of events and seminars, and we definitely want to incorporate your DJing into that because, you're my favorite DJ. I'm like starstruck here, but I see you all the time. But
no, we have so much fun.
We do. We have a great time. And real estate is fun. Right, and you're creative, and I think part of what you do, because I've watched you DJ, is you're always like 5 steps ahead or 5 songs ahead. Like you're always like, what's coming next? What's coming next? And that's part of what you do in real estate. Is you're always like, what am I doing next? What am I planning next? Or like Omar and I are building this building, which is making my hair fall out at the least. And he's always like, what's happening next, Eric? We got a plan, or Omar pushed us. We needed to get this software that we didn't have. And Omar was very aggressive in making sure we had this software where all the dates and everything were lined up because you need to know that 5 steps ahead. So I think like it totally works for you. And then on your creative side there, flipping houses.
Yeah.
I mean, Omar is like a artist when he does stuff. I've seen his before and after pictures.
Love it.
So let's talk about we'll get you into that, but let's talk about flipping houses, right? So the whole gist of it is buy something that's undervalued, fix it, and sell it. Now you have a huge following on social media as well, so a lot of your subscribers, I'm sure, are interested in real estate, and they'd love to see you get into this, watch your journey, get into real estate.
And if I can do it, you can do it. That's like my thing, It's
well,
not
you are
just
very
about
successful.
go and do the test. Like there's other ways to get involved.
So similar to that, to what Eric just said, we started out getting a real estate license, but I didn't know about flipping houses. I didn't know about rentals, development, putting money together. And once you put a few of these things together, you realize you don't have to be a real estate agent. So if you want to get into flipping houses, you can do that from the start. That could be your step into real estate.
Right.
And you have a huge following. So for you to start talking about this, who knows, you'll find people who may want to sell properties directly to you right off the bat.
And I think more importantly, at least for me, is you want to help people.
Yeah. So, that was good. As you guys were talking, I was like my whole thing is to help people too. Like, like I eventually, want to go to low income places and just spruce it up a little bit. That's like my end goal. I want to be able to do that.
So you've been everywhere, and I know you've seen all kinds of really cool stuff in the different countries. Where do you see yourself wanting to start, or what have you seen that you were like, oh, I wish I could recreate that or be part of it?
Right. Okay. So when I was younger and I was in Canada, I would go to Cuba, and and I always like again, my dad was like, own a timeshare, everywhere I would go. I did go to Dubai, and like everywhere I went, he was like, look at the real estate, let's get something. You know, this was like before Airbnbs were invented, so he wanted timeshares all over.
Yeah.
So what is it? Tell me, what was your like? What has struck that you're like, I want to do this?
Is it owning properties?
Yeah, like
flipping?
So.
And it doesn't
My
have to be
first thing in America was I was going to partner with a hookah company, like a hookah lounge, and they wanted to have more. This was right before COVID. So I was out there like scoping out properties for them for a hookah lounge. Like, even when I go to Florida and I see like a low budget building, I want to turn it into a school, like a music producing school. There's one in Flatbush, and I'm like, I want that building so bad.
Okay.
And every time I drive past it, I just want this building, and I want to turn it into a school. So it's like I'm always scoping out like vacant things and being like, what can I turn this into? Like, what would be so good here in this region, like a hookah, whether it be a hookah lounge, a med spa.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm like, what would be good here? Like, I'm always, every country I go to, I'm always like, what can we turn this building that no one loves into something that everyone's gonna love?
Well, that's awesome, because you know we're specialists
developing
in turning things that people don't love into.
Well, you're turning Hackensack into a loved place.
So yeah, we do a lot in Hackensack, but we do stuff everywhere. But I think a fun way to start would be like, why don't you pick something? Now let's focus it a little bit. Like, it has to be in the United States, and it should really be in New York or New Jersey, because those are kind of the areas that we're in.
Start somewhere.
Find a building or find a project small, and let's do small. Let's be like, this is our first thing, and let's talk about it. And you know, so your homework is to find one project.
Okay.
It could be a house that you like, a building that you like, a piece of land that you like, and let's bring it and let's talk about it and let's see what can we do with it.
Homes scare me. Like, that's one thing that I always see, like, home, it scares me because there's a lot of issues with homes, like the termites and stuff, like the structural things. So,
the more issues.
Should I start with a business?
We're the experts.
Or a home.
It has to be a piece of property that you can do something with.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you're looking to do is reposition a piece of real estate, right? So if you see whether it's a building, a house, whatever it may be, if you have an advantage in purchasing it, that's a potential play right there.
Right. So just like if you were to take a lounge that was dying, and then you came in and you turned it around through music, you repositioned the clientele or the brand of that lounge. Same thing with real estate.
Yeah.
You're going to find something that you love or you see has potential, and we're going to teach you what we can do to reposition that.
Okay.
Yeah, but the key word, you have to have some advantage into it, right? So you can't see a nice looking building and say this would be this.
So
would make
what do you
perfect.
mean by advantage into it?
So let's say you're driving through Brooklyn and there's a pristine building that nobody's going to sell because it's well stabilized, rented, etc. You have to ask yourself, why would they want to sell that building to me? Right.
So you can't pick like the Freedom Tower and be like, let's reposition this. It's a brand new building and it's fully rented, but it's got to be, like you said, one of those things that was like the ugly duckling that you're like, I want to make this.
Like that school. School,
could be,
It was like an old school.
Or it could be some commercial space that's just not being used because a person can't lease it out, and you have a good idea of what to use it for.
Perfect.
Or something in redevelopment zone. You buy something that's in the redevelopment zone, it's undervalued, and you could put up 20 units over there.
So redevelopment zone is like an area that a town wants to change. So we'll get there for you. Let's just start with a simple property. Doesn't matter what it is. Find something and take a picture of it.
Okay.
Okay. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we can do. We're going to talk about, is it something that you would own as an investment property? Is it something you would partner with people and take investors on? Or is it just something that you just sell to somebody? Like, there's so many ways to make money.
But how does she go about finding this? Let's talk about that.
I was just going to ask,
with her eyes.
True, but so
because there's so many, you know, like I could drive down Patterson and go down a lot of streets and see all these boarded up houses. Like,
pick your dream. We are your dream makers.
My dream is to turn something like a street in Patterson that's boarded up houses into an actual street where people live, and then the people beside them, beside these boarded up houses, don't have to walk out and look at boarded up houses all day.
So that's an awesome goal, and Omar and I would love to help you do that.
And we've done that.
And we've done similar stuff, yeah. So, but this is your first day.
I know. I'm thinking big.
But she has a good point. So what you, as far as finding it, in real estate, there's something called driving for dollars, right? And that's literally, you pick a town that you're interested in, and you drive up and down the block, and you look for homes that you think may be distressed and can be repositioned. So you have to have some area that you're interested in driving, or at least investing.
See, I don't
in.
drive around Jersey a lot, but
It
maybe I
doesn't
might
matter,
have to
New
pick
York
a day.
or New Jersey. It doesn't matter where it is.
And
Pick
remember-
your property.
And that's one way to get a property. So what's another way? Let's talk about other ways that she could.
Well,
Find
I
something.
think there's 100 ways you could just
But knowing
ask
that,
people
remember,
who wants to sell their
so
property.
that I think the advantage you have a huge base to begin with. You already have a presence in the DJ world. Just putting it out there and say, hey, I'm interested in buying property. You'll find people, whether they're wholesalers, existing investors, they may reach out to you and say, hey, I have something I want to sell.
So we're going to teach you what we feel are the right types of stuff to
People
buy.
have come to me about
I
this.
bet,
Like,
yeah.
you know, before I left Canada, I was going to buy a tanning salon that they didn't want anymore. Even in America, like, oh, do you want to buy this from us? I'm like, I don't
Well,
know.
first you have to know what to do, what to buy, or what to do with something. Because
Right.
people
And that's
probably
where you
try to
guys
sell you
come
stuff
in.
all the time.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So we want to put the brakes on that.
Yes.
Okay. We want to go over some examples.
Yeah.
We want to show you how to reposition these examples, or not even that yet. We want to show you the opportunity. So one of the things that Omar's great at is residential opportunities. He knows
Yeah.
he can look at any house in any condition, and he can give you a direction.
Okay.
Right, because the thing is, even if you see a house that's boarded up, it has to be profitable for you to get involved and do a deal, right? So there's lots of homes that are sitting vacant, but if they're asking too much or there's too many issues with it, you don't get the resale price. It's not a deal. There's not much you can do with it.
And duplexes and houses that are like connected is more profitable than alone standing houses.
Not necessarily. Just it depends on what you're in. How much are you paying for it, right? Every deal, the numbers are different on each deal. So it really depends what's your purchase price, how much are you investing into it, and what are you reselling it for.
Yeah, and there's so many different roles, and there's so many different scenarios, and there's so many different opportunities that there's no right or wrong answer in any one case. You could take a piece of property and do 10 different things with it. It's like Omar said,
'cause
where
you can rent it out and have tenants and own it, or you could buy it, sell it to
Yeah.
whomever.
what Omar does for residential, I can do for commercial, so we can guide this process anywhere. And then I want to show our viewers like how we're doing this process, how we're educating you, how we're taking your interest and turning it into real knowledge, and then taking that real knowledge and turning it into action.
Yeah.
You know, we want you to, have projects under your belt.
Yeah.
Like, what would your goal be? So let's fast forward 5 years from now. DJ, actress, model, Sophia Body, what is your 5-year real estate goal?
Money,
Properties. Freedom.
right, financial freedom, and also helping. I don't want to be financially free without helping the people that need it.
Well,
Okay.
Financial freedom will make that a lot easier.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a
Yeah.
great way. And I think that real estate is definitely the way to do it. And I think you can add the musical twist to it, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, when I go and DJ these
Yeah.
bigger venues, I can always, talk to them about,
Financially free.
like investment properties that they have or whatever,
Yeah.
like DJ, the places I DJ, there's a lot of owners that I talk to that own multiple spots that even spots in other cities that need help, or, any properties. They're like,
Everybody needs help.
Yeah.
As I said, I've been doing this forever, and there's still
Yeah.
days where I get stuck on things, and that's why you have people
A
to talk to.
team.
You have a team, you have people to talk to, you have good advisors. We'll teach you how to do that. It's just so exciting.
That's why I'm excited going through this journey with you, because you have people around, you have a team, everyone is involved some way instead of just like you all work for
Sure.
me. Like it's
Yeah.
a team, and
Yep.
that's what really attracts me to this whole journey is the team,
Yeah.
There's no I in team,
right?
right?
Yes.
And frankly, I love to have fun. as I think you know.
Yeah.
And having cool people around me like Omar and a ton of the other team members that we have, it just makes the day more exciting, more interesting.
Yeah, it does.
And like if you find something cool, it's like, okay, I found this cool property. Who do I share it with? Nobody. It's like I call Omar, I call Robbie, I call Roberto, I call my wife, I call all these people that are on my team. And I'm like, look at this. And we get excited. And like, you know, not to be weird, but Omar and I were like hugging each other because we found out that we could get an extra 1,000 square feet of amenity space in our new building. And we're like, golf simulator.
No,
Yes.
a gym.
Whatever. Gym, golf simulator, same shit. But we were just so excited. It's like, it's weird because it's like, who gets excited over putting in a golf simulator? But it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to help you get there. And if we can share that with people,
Yeah,
and get people's
my thing
dreams
is, if I
fulfilled.
can do it, anyone can do it. You know, so
You just have to want to do it. And you know, what's great about
and have a support system around. That's why with the school, I'm excited to get involved with that too, because the students, like, they'll have a team or people around them, you know, that can help them stimulate the mind or their ideas and stuff, instead of just trying to do it alone or with someone that's trying to take advantage of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is it's going to be great because you don't have the knowledge base yet. So when we go through the different things and talk to you and teach you about stuff, it'll be fun to see your reactions.
Yeah.
And I bet you a lot of people out there are going to have some of those similar reactions.
Yeah.
And then being able to bring you up to speed. Like, what did I learn today? I learned today that for sale by owners are dangerous to buy.
And what's that?
A for sale by owner. It's when someone takes a property and doesn't hire a real estate agent.
Okay.
And they actually put it on the market themselves.
Yes.
Okay. So would you think that's dangerous?
No, I personally would prefer that.
Okay. So here's
Is
what's
that
dangerous
wrong?
about it.
Okay, so
It's not that it's wrong. It's just that there's so many ways that it can go wrong, and there's so many ways that you can get robbed of all your money. And I literally learned this today from a bunch of lawyers. There are people that go out there and pretend to own properties that they don't own, and they sell them. And when you don't have a real estate agent involved from the that sales side, there's just that many more opportunities for fraud. So it's not that you can't buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that it's dangerous.
And you have to do your due diligence
And
more.
you know that because you've bought a ton of for sale by owners.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of fraud, so there was this one case that I'll never forget. There was an investor who got into a dispute with the person lending him money, right? So what he did was he wanted to get the lender out of the picture. So he went and he changed the deed into his name.
Wow.
And all you have to do to take ownership of a property is just go record the deed. Nobody's stopping you from doing that. So he literally went to the courthouse and said, I own the house. This is the deed. He had it signed. He recorded it, and the property became his, literally.
So he stole a house.
He stole a house. But when the investor came back to sue him, he couldn't sue him because there was a lot of financial issues that the investor was having. So he used that as leverage. But long story short, he was able to take the house from this investor and just put it into his own name. And nobody stopped him from doing it.
So all the more reason to imagine you have no idea what you're doing in real estate.
Right.
Right? Just like if you threw me in the DJ booth, like I could wave at everybody and I could figure out the volume control and I could spin the record. But that's probably where
Yeah. There may not
I
be
would
flow.
stop. And if someone was like, here, I press this button. Okay. And then like all the lights turn out. Like I totally wouldn't get it. So, you know, it's just the learning and getting the guidance and avoiding the pitfalls.
Yeah, because a lot of people would probably think like me, where, you know, you can cut out the real estate fee. Like, you know, and then that's better than, you know.
Well, that's the whole.
But
that's why they even do for sale by owners, because they don't want to pay the realtor fee.
The realtor fee, exactly.
The seller. That's why they'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm super thankful to have, you know, you reach out to me and have a team, because I have gotten, you know, people have reached out to me before and I just didn't pay attention because it's scary. I might get scammed into bad business.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm really thankful to have like a team that is knowledgeable and that can help me in commercial or in homes or whatever. Like, you know, you don't want to just go out there by yourself, and anyone can buy a property, but who knows what CRAP
CRAP,
Analysis.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna come up with a CRAP analysis.
might come along
there we
with
go.
that.
Yeah.
You know?
You're right. And if you see something that you may think is a good deal, how do you take the next step, right? It's helpful to have a team.
How do you take the next step? How do you protect yourself?
Yeah.
And I think what's really cool is you want to help people, which is really why we're here. That's why we created this podcast. That's why we created our school. And I know you want to ask people to come on the journey with you.
Yes, I want people like me that might be scared to take the test. Like, it's black and white. Like, I've never been that person in school that's been good with tests. I'm more hands-on. So I want, I'm excited to show people that you can be more hands-on and make money rather than just go sit down and take the test. Now anyone can get their real estate license.
Yeah.
So that's what's exciting to me.
Awesome. And we're gonna share your journey, and we'll teach everybody that comes along with you. Whoever you want to bring along, bring them. We're ready.
Thanks for watching this episode. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.